So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a Moen 1222B cartridge, and this is, or it's the 1222 original part from Moen. And wanted to document this part because the existing rough-in valve has been collapsed on one side. You can see that it's bent inward, and we looked inside. You know, we got here, water was shut down, the cartridge was out, and we're looking inside the brass, and you could see quite a bit of scraping from whatever tool was used to remove the old cartridge, and that happens sometimes. But when you put these back in, you've got one O-ring at the front that sits back here, and then a couple of large rubber gaskets that run down the side of the cartridge, and that seals everything. And so if there's too much damage, then it won't seal. This was collapsed on the left side here, and so it's out of round, and this cartridge is designed to go straight into that round, into this valve body right here. So we got it in there. It hit the plastic a little bit, slid it, and then we turned the water on, and there's no dripping, so I think we'll be okay. You know, I'm always a little hesitant to leave things when they've been damaged. But if there's no water coming out, then leave it. You know, just monitor this. It's kind of hard to monitor it once you put the trim back on, because it's, you know, it closes itself back up in the wall. But looking back in here, you know, I don't see any water dripping out here. I don't see any water dripping out on this side. And I don't see any water, you know, coming out the bottom here. And so we're just going to leave it. You know, like I say, it's hard to tell. Once we leave, we don't know if everything is going to seal, because it's not defective. It's just not formed correctly on the left-hand side. It's barely out of round. Doesn't mean that the whole valve body, you can see it's pretty deep. That goes back pretty far, and that's where the cartridge sits. But at the front, it's bent. So we're going to leave it. We're going to put the trim back on. Got a little adapter. It's snapped off on the trim kit over there, the oil rub bronze, and so this little guy, handle adapter, snapped off. So we'll see if we can get it out of the handle. It's still sitting in there. If we can, we've got another adapter with us. We'll get that installed, and we'll take another video when we're done. So we're still here in Clovis, California, and we've got everything put back together. A little bit of damage to the rough-in valve. Cartridge was you know, it's designed to go straight into a round opening, perfectly round, and one side had been dented in. The cartridge feels like it's going to hold. We left the trim and everything off for a little bit, took some pictures or a little video to make sure that valve's not dripping in the wall, because as you can see, once you cover it up, you can't see that anymore. We're pretty comfortable with it. You know, outside of that, if you're not comfortable with it, then we would need to come in, pull everything back off, take out 1, 2, 3, 4, pull 4 tiles, and cut the board behind here, replace this valve. This is dripping right now, so if this doesn't stop dripping, you know, you may have water getting past that cartridge. Normally that'll happen when you know, the cartridge has failed. In this case, if this continues to drip, then that cartridge is not functioning correctly, and it's not as a result of our installation or the cartridge. It is new, original equipment from Moen. It could be because of that valve, the rough-in valve is out of round. So we won't know. We can certainly take this off and get all the water to drain out of the head, and then if it does drip, you know something's going on. I mean, this project here is huge, taking this apart and getting a new valve in the wall. So I'd work with this, even if it, you know, we're dripping a little bit, which it doesn't appear that it was. I just ran the water, so it's probably still emptying water out of the head. But if you start to get a constant drip or anything else, then let us know. We'll have to do the major repair in here. But I think this is going to be okay. We're going to go ahead and get a little bit of silicone on the top, just to seal. You can see little gaps right there, and so if water rolls down the wall, it gets back in the wall. So we'll put a little bead of silicone on the top. Outside of that, this installation is done.